Hey guys, and how about we watch Tracer vs. Scout Death Battle? Alright, I'm not exactly sure how this fight's going to go. I mean, personally, I think Scout will win, but it all comes down to exactly how they handle the fight itself. I don't think they're going to give Scout all of his weapons, but if they give him his most iconic weapons, then I think he'll win. If they give him just a single loadout, or even worse, his stock loadout, I don't know if he can pull through. His stock loadout, I very much doubt it. Honestly, I feel like all of the buffs he can give himself, like temporary invulnerability or, mini crits for 8 seconds, I think those would be what wins it for him. Especially if he gets the Sandman, because that thing is really useful. So yeah, I honestly do think if Scout gets a decent loadout, I think he should get his iconic weapons, like the Sandman definitely, maybe the Force of Nature, but I don't think the type of scattergun he uses really matters. Definitely either Bonk Cola or Criticola, don't think it really matters. And, this isn't as iconic, but it would be very helpful in a fight like this, the Flying Guillotine to go with the Sandman. And yeah, that's basically it. I assume you guys know what those weapons are, and if you don't, just look it up on the wiki. Come on, I'm not sitting here and explaining it to you. I know Tracer has time powers, but it really isn't the type of time powers you think of. She can't really manipulate time, she just manipulates her placement in time. She uses it to move faster, be more mobile overall, and she also uses it to regain some health. She can't alter anything that's happening, she can't see the future, she just changes where she is in the timeline. And her pulse pistols, I think they're called. I know she has a pulse bomb, but I'm not sure what her pistols are called. They're pretty basic. Oh yeah, and lasers in TF2 are comparable to bullets in TF2, so I don't think that, they'll do more or less damage. I think they'll pretty much be the same as a bullet in TF2, And the pulse bomb, the temporary invulnerability would be perfect to counter that. That's my reasoning, at least. Well, anyway, it's not really up to me who wins, it's up to these guys. They might get it right, they might get it wrong. I don't really know, but either way, let's start our show.
To be the elite, you must surround yourself with the best of the best. Whether you band together to save the world, or just a worthless plot of land.
Yes.
Every good team needs a good hit and runner.
Like Tracer, the spunky agent of Overwatch.
And the Scout, the Boston-born merc of Team Fortress. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
And yeah, I knew it was gonna be 3D.
30 years from the present, mankind would become careless. Their machine servants rose up to fight for freedom, and so began a worldwide war.
But one organization stood between world peace and total chaos. Overwatch, a team consisting of the world's greatest scientists, cyborgs, ninjas, cowboys, and pilots.
Including Lena Oxton, codenamed Tracer. The youngest pilot ever inducted into Overwatch's flight program, Tracer is a free-spirited and fearless flying ace.
Don't really
always
play
laughing
Tracer,
in the face
but
of danger.
she
After
seems
helping
fun to
secure
play.
World peace, no big deal, right? She was chosen to test a new prototype fighter jet, which could teleport.
But then everything went horribly wrong. Instead of teleporting from point A to B, the fighter jet accidentally transported her through time.
How do you accidentally create a time machine and put it in a fighter jet?
A word to the wise, this is why you use animals before moving to human trials, like I always do. Anyway, Tracer essentially existed as
just
a
glosses
ghost,
over that
uncontrollably
fact.
phasing in and out of time. It looked like Overwatch's prized pilot would be decommissioned forever.
Until her teammate, good friend, and gorilla scientist Winston made a special techno doohickey to keep her locked in the present.
This chronal accelerator doesn't just anchor Tracer's time displacement, it also gives her 2 different ways to manipulate
Oh, was
her
she
own
like
time flow. In a
DLC
near
or something
instant,
in
she can zoom
another
approximately
Blizzard
23
game?
feet away.
I only
This
play Overwatch,
blink
so I
ability
wouldn't
is
know.
not true teleportation, but instead speeds up time only for Tracer while propelling her in any
There we
given
go.
direction.
Yeah.
What?
She can briefly jump herself forward in time, though from an outside view it looks like a blur.
Got it.
More than that, she can also reverse time for herself with the recall ability, which returns Tracer's health and spatial position back to where they were a few seconds before. While usually recall only turns back 3 seconds, in some instances she's gone as far back as 15.
Well, thank God her weapons aren't as confusing as that shit. She carries
that was just a short, not sure.
as her primary pain dispenser.
I mean, that's another thing. We don't really know what's
in a single
considered
second.
canon and
But
what's
what the pulse
not.
pistols have in power, they sorely lack in range and accuracy.
Good thing she also has her pulse bombs. I'll put it this way, pretty much anybody she sticks this thing to has exactly 2 seconds to make their peace before going to the big capture point in the sky.
Tracer maximizes her unique weaponry with hit-and-run tactics, frustrating her enemies and making her very difficult to pin down.
Yeah, in addition to blinking and recalling all over the place, she can jump 15 feet in the air.
She's disarmed the highly trained and literally cold-blooded assassin Widowmaker, protected the Doomfist Gauntlet from theft.
Well,
and
those
even
were
once
literally
avoided
the
a
same
sniper
thing.
shot from just 30 feet away. A sniper round usually travels almost 1,800 miles per hour when fired, meaning Tracer had to react within 100 of a
Again,
second.
she.
Unfortunately, that bullet found another target.
Again, time displacement, not sure how exactly
Rest in
impressive
peace,
that
Robot
is, but
Gandhi.
it is
Although
impressive
Tracer
either
is
way.
a slippery opponent on the battlefield, her chronal accelerator has its limits. If used too many times in succession, it can overheat, forcing Tracer to wait for a recharge. As her pistols are linked to the accelerator, this can sometimes cause them to overload as well.
Plus,
See,
she's
that's not a
pilot
thing in
first, and
Overwatch,
not exactly a
the
crack
game,
shot
I
while
mean.
on foot. If she doesn't get in close, she's not hitting anything but air.
In spite of that, Tracer doesn't let any of it get her down. Wherever there's danger, she'll be there in a blink of an eye with a cocky smile and a barrage of bullets.
Wait, whatever happened to that time-warping fighter jet?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's lost in time still.
Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
I thought that disappeared with her.
In the year 1850,
Now the
an
TF2 lore.
extremely wealthy entrepreneur passed
TF2
away,
lore is
leaving
literally
his
the
family
best.
land and business to his 2 sons. But like brothers are prone to do, they ended up fighting
Is that a
over each
ghostly
other's
gibbous?
land right off the bat.
This went on for decades.
I think that's actually
and
a
then the brothers
ghastly
began
gibbous.
recruiting
There's a
mercenaries
difference.
To literally wage war. And that's when things really got out of control.
Each hired gun contributed with their own specialized expertise.
The sniper killed from afar, the engineer slaughtered with machines, and the heavy mowed people down with the biggest goddamn gun they'd ever seen. What kind of sandwiches were they feeding
And to be
that
fair,
guy?
they can all
But
do
one every man
different
only relied on his
stuff.
cunning, his 2 feet, and a baseball
Ever
bat.
heard of a fat
This
scout?
was the Scout.
It's literally a
Born
heavy
in Boston,
running
Massachusetts
around
in
with
the
a shotgun.
1950s, the mercenary only known as Scout was the runt among 7 older brothers.
And all of them loved to wander the town looking for a good fight. Problem was, Scout's brothers were so big and tough, the fights would be over before he could get the chance to throw his own punches.
Desperate to fight alongside his siblings, Scout realized that what he lacked in strength, he could make up for in speed.
So he started running, and running, and running until one day he was fast enough to not only keep up, but get ahead.
Speed was
That
his
is
moniker,
literally the
delivering
best
pain
taunt.
was his game, and somewhere along the way he even learned how to jump off of thin air. Suddenly, the pathetic runt of the pack became the smart-mouthed terror of Boston.
Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines.
And brother, I hurt people.
The only thing he was lacking was discipline, which he could get in the military, but that didn't sound like any fun, so he became a mercenary instead. Scout traveled
Would they even
light,
let him into
relying
the
on a
military?
lucky shotgun
Not sure
and
if
a
he's smart
baseball
enough.
bat. Yes, a baseball bat. This guy is crazy enough to try and take out a rocket launcher wielding soldier with a pop fly.
Which surprisingly works. Opponents are stunned by the size of his balls, both literally and figuratively,
come on, that-
leaving them open for Scout
That's
to
just
race
a
up and
low
finish them off
joke.
with his guns.
That's a terrible,
Well, he's
terrible
got a
joke.
pistol for pinpoint accuracy. Scout's favorite tools for killing are definitely shotguns. The scattergun is a confusing miracle of shotgun engineering that can somehow hold 6 shots in a double barrel and is reloaded via divine intervention when you pull its lever. It's like the baby of a shotgun rifle and a revolver. But his most powerful gun is the Force
Oh,
of Nature.
they are using
A
the Force of
shotgun that
Nature.
only has
Oh yeah,
2
and I just
shots,
realized they
but
talked
kicks
about the
so hard
Sandman.
it can boost him even higher into the air.
Regardless, a well-placed shot can quickly take down almost any other mercenary. To make the force of nature even more ridiculous, he can strap a can of energy drink called Bonk Atomic Punch to it, which somehow gives him 5 more midair jumps.
That's right, this guy flies with shotguns. But that's not all the soda has to offer. With just a sip of Bonk, Scout becomes totally invincible for 8 seconds. But he can't use any of his guns at that time.
Probably due to the shakes. Bonk contains several hundred times the daily recommended sugar intake. An adult male's suggested
I love how they're
dosage is
actually
25
scientifically
grams, meaning
looking
Bonk
at this.
contains, at minimum, 11 pounds of sugar. So much sugar, he can't take another drink for at least 20 seconds. And on top of that, it's radioactive.
You gotta have one tough body to handle that stuff. Tough enough to survive the onslaught of 3 rockets at once, or to swing a baseball bat hard enough to send a guy flying 80 feet away.
Possibly due to long-term Bonk exposure, but testing is still out.
Scout can
And they did get the footage themselves. I saw those usernames up there. Good to know. I was afraid it would be a Matt Pat situation.
With nothing but a hot dog suit and Amelia Earhart skeleton. I'm serious.
He has a knack for avoiding bullets, missiles, and even tentacles from a bread monster, but at
Don't
the cost
ask.
of wearing little to no armor, making him a glass cannon. And true to his reckless, unrestrained personality, Scout often runs headfirst into battle, regardless of the risk.
But if you want to take down the Scout, you're gonna have to catch him before he catches you. And that means you too, ladies.
That's right, Fancy Pants, myself. So why don't you take your little failure, roll it up sideways, and... Okay, crap, I gotta go. Screw you, though.
Not much footage to use for that.
Are set. Let's
All
end
right.
this debate once and for all.
But first, I'm feeling pretty hungry. If only there was some sort of amazing
Oh,
service
God.
that sent a box full of food and recipes straight to my door. Oh, hey!
You know how it is. Researching characters and making them fight to the death is time-consuming. I don't have time to go to the store and make my own meals, but I also don't want to doom my existence to fast food sugar addiction. Thankfully, Blue Apron changed all of that. For less than $10 a meal,
I think
Blue
I've heard of
sends
Blue
me
Apron,
seasonal
but,
recipes
eh.
with pre-portioned ingredients
Of course
to
I
make
wouldn't get
delicious
it.
home-cooked meals. Each meal comes with an easy step-by-step recipe which can be prepared in 40 minutes or less. This chicken stir-fry only took about 20. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free, with free shipping, by going to blueapron.com/battle. See for yourself how good it feels and tastes to create impeccable home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. That's blueapron.com.
That actually looks pretty good. Don't like rice personally,
But
but
right now, it's time for a death battle!
Death battle! Alright, let's see how they handle this.
Alright, asshole, you're toast! Whoa!
They made the joke.
Hey there, hot stuff.
Hello.
If I told you you had a great bod, would you hold it against me?
That's nice. I was just leaving.
Oh, sure thing. Come back anytime. Just put that briefcase back before you go. Thanks.
Sorry, love.
Oh.
Overwatch needs this more than you do.
I actually listened to the soundtrack of this game because of how many times they use it in Death Battle. Crap. I forget the name of the game. That's not exactly how it works, but hey.
Yo, Putz, how you doing that?
Bombs away.
Oh, that's just great.
That's exactly what I said.
Will fly your esophagus after just one can, but you know it's also very handy when you feel like not getting blown up.
That's not very fair.
Listen, sweetheart. I never play fair.
So yes, they did use his iconic weapon. That is literally the best thing ever. Oh, that's building her ult.
Ah, bollocks!
Dead at the plate. Kids out of the pie.
And recall.
All right, Doll. Fun's over.
Not yet, mate.
I mean, did you really need to use that?
Cavalry's there.
I mean, it looked cool, but...
Shit!
He still has yet to use his actual baseball bat.
Not this time, Yankee!
Oh, come on, give me a...
Alright.
Well, that was fun.
KO!
And he's out!
Scout was fast and tough, but Tracer's unique arsenal and evasiveness pulled her ahead.
Scout's
I think
greatest
Scout's
feat was
arsenal is a
potentially
bit more-
surviving an assault from 3 rockets at once. However, the rocket's point of impact is never directly shown, and since direct hits from rockets regularly obliterate far tougher mercs, it's unreasonable to assume this was any different.
Scout
I mean,
could
he
sprint
can't
up to
even
17
survive
miles an hour for an extended period of
indirect
time,
rocket shots,
which is slightly
usually.
faster than the average human's 15 miles per hour. But Tracer's natural reactive instinct gave her the edge. For example, avoiding that sniper round from 30 feet away means she can react 25 times faster than the vast majority of other human beings.
Which means Tracer could avoid almost anything Scout threw at her. Even when she couldn't, her recall ability not only helped her survive, but effectively ruined any of Scout's elements of surprise.
This allowed Tracer plenty of opportunities to
Although-
take him out.
And
They
just
kinda
like
use that.
Scout was gone, without a trace.
The winner
They use
is
that a bit
Tracer.
too much, in my opinion. I mean, that was a fine death battle, but
Next time on Death Battle.
they use taking away someone's items way too much. Also, Ryu. Oh, never mind, Ken.
Hey guys, thanks
All
for
right,
watching
I have
another episode of Death Battle.
absolutely
I'm
no
Ben,
clue
the
who you
showrunner,
could
and I play
possibly
Liz.
find,
I'm
so
Nick,
I'm
and I
not
wrote
even
this
going to
episode.
talk about
and
that.
next time we've got Ken from Street Fighter, but who's he gonna
Also,
be
voice
fighting? You can
actors
find
were
out
alright.
by sticking to our social media. That's @ScrewAttack on Twitter and official SA on Facebook. We'll be letting you know his opponent very soon.
That's right, and if you
A
want to
bit
see that
awkward,
episode
though.
of Death
That's why I
Battle
kinda
early, or
tried
want to see
to
some other Rooster Teeth
ignore it.
content before other people get to, you can
No
become a
offense,
first member by
screw
clicking the link
attack,
in the
but
description below.
it was kind of
And of
awkward.
course, if you've got an idea for a death battle, let us know in the comments below.
We do read them.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, I guess we'll talk about this. I'm happier than I thought I would be. Yeah, honestly, I'll admit that I thought that if Tracer came out of here victorious, I was going to be salty or annoyed, but I'm not that much. I mean, they did give Scout a fair shot with his iconic weaponry. Honestly, the only thing I might complain about that isn't really a fault of the researchers, maybe. I mean, it could be for all I know, but the only thing that I could complain about is the fact that he did not once try to stun Tracer with the Sandman. Like, that was a really good tactic. Because even if you tried to say, like, that wouldn't really be helpful because Tracer can still recall or still blink around or something like that. In Overwatch, she can't do that, so it still would be a viable strategy. But either way, I mean, yeah, that was the only complaint I thought I had, so yeah. Also, that song didn't really fit in my opinion, but hey, it's another one from that one game Torrian must love. I mean, I assume that's the case because they're only on 3D animated death battles. It was in Solid Snake vs. Sam Fisher, and Yang Xiaolong vs. Tifa Lockhart. I guess that's only 2, but this is the 3rd, so I can officially say he uses it in a lot of 3D death battles. Actually, I think he used it in Dante vs. Bayonetta too. Either way, that was a fun death battle overall. Pretty good animation. There were a few places where it seemed like it was a tiny bit rushed, like with her recall animation, but I mean, it was decent. And other than that little gripe, the voice acting was the only thing that kind of made it hard for me to watch. I mean, yeah, it was a fine death battle. Again, they use that joke way too many times, and it's not even really a joke, but how many times now, I might just be imagining this now that I think about it, but I feel like that happens a lot, just someone takes a weapon away from someone, just like, no, you're not pulling that bull crap again. But yeah, I enjoyed this overall. And Ken, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more reaction videos like this, then subscribe, because I'm doing all of the death battles from now on until further notice. Anyway, see you in the next video.